Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Thanks very much, everybody, for joining me once again. Sad Sadiq here. Delighted to be joined once again by a highly popular commentator, Lancashire legend, player, umpire, captain, coach. He did everything when it came to cricket. As I say, a really popular commentator and still a very good journalist, still commentating around the world as well, and keeping his close eye on the events of the cricketing world. One and only David Bumble Lloyd. Bumble, thanks very much for joining me.
Thank you. I've just looked on social media and a young fellow, I think it's a young fellow, has said, I really like listening to David Lloyd. It's a pity that he's got old.
Well,
I mean, come on. I mean, how bad's that?
well,
I should sue him.
well, Bumble, I tell you what, you're still as popular as ever when it comes to our viewers, and they always ask me. I get messages from many people asking, when are you doing the next interview with Bumble? So, for me, you're not old, mate. I think you can still bat a few overs.
Well, I enjoy doing them. I think it's good. I think it's good for cricket that, two guys can just have a debate and then you'll get a reaction. People will either agree or they'll disagree or they'll have a view of their own. I think it's brilliant.
Well, that's it, isn't it, Bumble? It's all about opinions and thoughts, and sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't.
Absolutely.
Bumble, T20 World Cup, India, different level to everybody else, weren't they?
Yeah, and of course they were the team to beat. If you wanted to win this, you had to beat them. And New Zealand, quiet achievers once again, but they're just too strong. India, they're a fabulous side. And to be fair, I reckon they could put three teams out, and they'd be very competitive. You'd think of all the players that are not there. Shubman Gill, what a wonderful player he is. Jaiswal, he doesn't get in the team, so they could pick at least another team that'd be highly competitive.
What are they doing right? What are they getting right, Bumble, that the rest of the world isn't doing right?
Well, I think that, in India, it is the be all and end all. That cricket and Bollywood is what matters. It's your release for everybody who wants to watch a sport. They would watch cricket. Anybody that wants to play, male or female, will want to play cricket. And you go on the maidens and you see that games at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so it's an unbelievable passion for the people who live there. And there's also a legacy, sort of in my time, going back to Sunil Gavaskar, to Kapil Dev, to emulate those players. And you move on to MS Dhoni and Sourav Ganguly and Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli. They've got a fantastic legacy.
Somebody sent me a video today, Bumble, and it was the BCCI sort of celebrating the victory. And most of it seemed to be Jay Shah. He seemed to be the BCCI chairman, Jay Shah, starring in that video. Bumble, what do you make of that?
Well, my own view is that it's not a good look. I don't think that's a good look at all. And the players are the most important people, and the players have achieved. And my own view is give them the moment, give the players their moment. They will be idolised by a whole nation, and I don't think you need administrators to be involved. I think that you've got to step back and applaud nicely in the background and just have a little bit of decorum. And I'll say again, I'm my own view, and we might get pelters for it, that I don't think it's a very good look.
New Zealand, the nearly men, Bumble, they keep reaching these finals or semi-finals, and we always, I mean, you've said it many times, they sort of play out with their skins, and they overachieve in most of these tournaments, and they just seem to run out of steam in that final, didn't they?
Well, they came up against an absolute juggernaut. They were a far better team. But if you look at what they've got, New Zealand, I think there's only 5 million people live in New Zealand on two islands, North and South Island. I think they have six competitive professional teams, six. And so it's pretty simple to pick your best players. And they've always been a collective. I think New Zealand have always been a very shrewd collective. And you look at coaches around the world, it's no accident there's a lot of them are New Zealanders. And so they can run a team, they know how to run a team, they know how to play as a team, and they're very, very well organised.
Some thoughts on England, Bumble. I mean, they made a good fist of it in that semi-final. You know, they were chasing a massive Indian target, and you know they were only a few runs short in the end. What did you make of their tournament?
Well, if they'd have caught the catches, it could have been a totally different story. But that's the game, you know, with the world over. Yeah, they did. They did really well to get to the semi-finals. I think they were effective. And you know, I look at Pakistan under Imran Khan when, you know, they were on the verge of going out years and years ago in the 90s, and then hit the game. They hit the game, and then they won the tournament. And I thought that England were going okay, effective, as I said, get to the semi-final against the team that you have to beat, and they run up seven short. Bethel plays fabulously well. And you look at them moments, you know, we talk about, particularly in T20, you know, we talk about test match cricket and one day internationals. There are moments that you have to win. In T20, if a catch goes down, it changes the game. Harry Brook put that catch down, which would appear to be very simple. And it certainly hindered England, and they finish up seven short in an epic game, in a wonderful game, fantastic game.
One of the key players for England going into the tournament, Bumble, was Joss Butler, somebody who you know really well, obviously at Lancashire. Um, he struggled, didn't he? And I guess that's the nature of T20 cricket, isn't it? You sort of you quickly get into form and you quickly out the form.
You want your key players in tournaments like that. You want your key players to be unbelievably on the A1 game. The opening pair didn't do it. You know, I mean, this is a much vaunted opening pair of Salt and Butler. They didn't do it. And so you're always playing a little bit of catch up. You need memorable innings from Harry Brook and from Jacob Bethel. So they were roundabout England, but they would have been far better off if they got a real bossing, you know, to boss that's first six overs, that power play, and we didn't actually do it.
Pakistan, Bumble. I mean, expectations were low going into this tournament. They've struggled with the bat. The bowlers were still good enough, many people thought, but they sort of struggled their way through to the Super Eights, and then they were found wanting. What did you make of Pakistan's efforts?
I absolutely worry about Pakistan cricket. You know, I go back a fair way to all the Mohammeds, Hanif Mohammed, Sadiq Mohammed, Mushtaq Mohammed, going on to Zaire Abbas and to Imran Khan, to Wasim and Wakar, to Imzamam, to Yunus Khan. You know, these are epic players. These are world-class players. And I mean, I'm looking outside and in, and I despair for the players. That you know, the Pakistan were an unbelievably potent force in world cricket, and they're getting left behind. And I don't know. You tell me. It's political. You cannot involve politics and cricket. And I hear that the players got fined. I mean, who comes up with that idea? That is utterly ridiculous, because you're looking to get young people, male and female, involved in the game of cricket, and they see that their elite performers are being fined. I mean, come on. I mean, it's ridiculous. And they stagger, absolutely stagger from one coach to the next. It can't be an accident that the coaches are poor. They're not. And the players are good. But you're beating them down. You're beating everybody down that it's important. They're the most important people. And they used to be a fabulous team, unpredictable team. I've left Jarvin Miandad out, who's one of the greatest players I've ever seen. And I've probably left many more out. And they must despair, absolutely despair about what's going on in Pakistan cricket. Come on, people. Come on. The players are your most important assets. They're the ones.
Well, just some of the associate nations did really well, and people were questioning the fact that there was a bigger tournament, more teams. But at the end of the day, the likes of Nepal and Netherlands and some of those guys, USA, they put in some good performances. So I think that that verified why these teams deserve a chance at such tournaments, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does for me to keep expanding world tournaments. I mean, cricket isn't football. And so, we're developing the game all over the place. And the USA is another area that you can look at to develop the game. And so the other thing, what you need is finance. You need resources to advance the game. And so I would also think that, the governing body of the game, to expand the game, have to put finance towards these associate countries to allow them to compete, to give them facilities, to give them opportunity.
And finally, Bumble, we recently saw a group of captains release a statement for Imran Khan, who's obviously incarcerated at the moment and has lost a fair bit of his eyesight. And the captains, including the likes of Nasser Hussain, Michael Atherton, Mike Brealey, etc., received a lot of praise for that statement on behalf of Imran Khan. What are your thoughts on the captain's statement, and what are your thoughts regarding Imran Khan?
Well, to bring it to the fore, so my own view about Imran, I played against Imran. I played against Imran when he was at Worcester. People don't actually remember. I think I played against Imran when he was at Cambridge University. And he moved on to Sussex and played under a great captain, a wonderful, wonderful captain, John Barclay. I knew Imran. Imran was a fabulous man. He was a world-class cricketer. I am delighted that people have got on board and brought it to the fore, because Imran Khan doesn't deserve this. He really doesn't deserve this. And again, I'm just me. I'm just sat here in the sticks in North Yorkshire. And I would implore the people in authority, come on, just do the right thing. This is not right. Look after this man. He is a great man.
And Bumble, what's next for you then? Any cricket coming up? Getting ready for the new season?
Well, there's a whisper that I might be going out, or we might be going out. The people I do the podcast with, I do a nice little podcast with Michael Vaughan, Philip Tufnell, and Alistair Cook. Sir Alistair Cook. And we might be going out to do a little stint at the IPL, but it's in its infancy. I should have been out at the World T20 doing podcasts, but the Middle East crisis took care of that. And so, in the long term, I'm looking forward to our county cricket starting. And that is always massive for me. That is absolutely massive. There's all sorts going on in English cricket, but the bedrock of English cricket, nobody can change this for me. Nobody can change it. I know I'm old, like that fella said earlier. I know I'm old. That the bedrock of English cricket is county cricket. I love it.
Well, you mentioned about going out to the IPL, Bumble. I'm waiting for you to go out to the PSL. I can't believe that somebody at the Pakistan Super League hasn't asked you to go out there and work on the commentary out there.
Yeah, that would be really nice, because number one, it's a great tournament. Number two, it's a great place to visit. I always used to love it. I used to love the chaos of going to Pakistan. I used to love that, to get out in the sticks and to meet the people. The people were great.
Bumble, really appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon. Thanks very much. Appreciate that.